Hey, everybody. I'm Jane.
And I'm Sarah.
And you're listening to the Medium Curious Podcast, the show that's taking the woo and making it wow.
Yes, it is.
Wow. Wow.
And today's episode is our 4th season opener.
Yahoo!
And we're talking about what we know for sure-ish.
Sort of. What we think we know for sure.
What we know for sure-ish.
Yeah, I like that. What we know for sure. All right, let's get into it.
Sounds good. Hi, Happy New Year, Jane.
Happy New Year, Sarah. How are you? How is it?
Everything's great. Everything's wonderful. Everything's coming up roses.
Yes,
especially Kevin hanging out over here in his rose-colored glasses. Jane's ex-boyfriend, y'all, on the other side.
He's always around. He loves you so much. He has such a crush on you. He's just like, oh my gosh, she's so pretty.
He's hanging out for this episode today.
Oh, we could let him. He
feel
had
like
a lot of certainty.
I think that's kind of what we want to talk about today, right? What do we know for sure? And in times that feel really uncertain, where we think we know what's going to happen. What do we know for sure? So it was my idea for us to each come up with 5 things. I think I have 6 here. Or 7.
No, we know for sure. 4.
They're probably the same as mine. So.
Yeah, they probably are. I was laughing about that as we were coming up with it. I was like, they're going to be the same. Well, let me ask you, Sarah, what's your first and favorite one? What do you know for sure?
Well, I don't know if this is a favorite one, but this might be a good one to start with.
Okay.
Number 1, I will never know everything.
I'm just laughing because that's exactly what my number 1 is on my list. I don't actually get to know, but damn it, certainty feels delicious, doesn't it?
I know, it does feel delicious. We do really want to know. I feel like so many people come to readings also, and they just want to be told what to do or told how to think or told what's going to happen in the future. And I don't think that's the point of this life.
And isn't it so hard to be the deliverer of that? Where like I had a really cool Akashic reading this week, and they are so cute. The guides are like, yes, well, sweetheart, you know that this is information that you will get by walking on the path with an open heart, or something like that. Like it was way more eloquent and beautiful than that. But and I have to be like, wait for it. Here's the not answer.
Here's the non-answer, but isn't it comforting?
Yeah, I have to say they were actually a little bit more like giving of full answers this week. So I was like, ooh, maybe it's a good week for Akashic. but yeah, it's very lovely because we are, and it kind of goes back to our title of our podcast,
which means curious, being curious. Yeah. Approaching things from that state of wonder, possibility,
exactly.
Hope. There's hope in that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get to know, but maybe I'll know someday. And what do I think I know? So I think I want to revert it to what do I think I know?
What do I think I know?
Well, instead of what I know for sure.
Was thinking about pets, how dogs see color differently, and some animals dogs have a better sense of smell. That's how they sense things. That's how they know things. That's how they know that you've been with another dog. It wasn't told to them. They just smell that other dog on you, Yeah.
And you're just like such a betrayer when you come in with another dog smell. What is this?
What is this? So the way our little human bodies are built and the way our little human brains are built, we just don't have the capacity to know everything. It's like we're all shoved in these little bodies and are told like, Here, experience the world in an unknowing, blind way. You only get a certain set of senses. Some get to utilize more and
Yes.
feel your way around and figure it out.
You're an adorable blob. Go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So was pets your number two? Like, were you thinking about pets as
No, but I was just thinking about pets as having different senses and knowing different
yeah.
things.
Well, I can tell you I'm gonna jump to my number five, which is that
Ooh.
animals can talk.
Oh,
That is something I think
yeah.
I know for sure.
You do know it for sure.
I do feel
Yeah.
like I sort of kind of almost could know that for sure because I've talked to them.
Yeah. You do absolutely know that for sure.
Yeah. And that's been sort of the mind blown of the last 6 months of last year of 2024 was having that come online, the conversations with pets. And then
Yeah.
later this season, we're going to talk to this beautiful writer who can hear the whales. So,
That's so exciting to
and
me.
telepathy is going to be another topic coming up on this. I'm a little bit previewing the season, but I guess that's episode 1 of the season. So,
That's right.
anyway, I do know this. I feel this in my bones, and they love to talk to us. They love when we actually like tune in and talk to them.
Telepathically, right?
Yeah, that's the only way they talk.
Pretty
They
much all
bark
my
and
dog
stuff, but
says to me is, "Give me treats. Give me treats. I want treats. Give me treats.
yeah,
You're in my spot. Get out of my
exactly.
spot.
I was going to say, no, there's another message, which is, why are you sitting there?
Someone's at the door. Someone's at the door. Someone rang the doorbell. Oh, you can hear that too? Okay. I was barking for no reason. Okay.
But it's still my job to alert you to the alert. Yeah.
Give me
Yeah.
treats.
I mean, she does have so much love for you too, though.
Oh, yeah. She's a little sweet pea.
Yeah.
Glad she's not
But
barking
yeah,
right now.
yeah, treats are definitely top of the list.
Number one. They're number one on her list for sure.
Yes, my Kalea dog is the same.
So we had the same number one, and you
Yep,
just gave us number five.
I did. I gave you number 5. What's your
Hmm.
number 2?
Change is a sure thing.
Oh,
The
good
only
one.
constant is change.
So
And can you
then,
think of anything in the physical that remains the same without ever changing, except for maybe plastic?
oh yeah, good news, bad news, mostly bad news.
Good news,
Yeah,
bad news, plastics forever.
you know, I have been having a super cheesy engagement with romance novels right now, and I'm not super proud of it
Oh,
because I
I
know
didn't
it's
know
really fun.
that.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're sort of like they're not all the way to like Harlequin or something, but they're sort of like chick lit romance novels. And Colleen Hoover is the author. I'm kind of loving it. I just fell into a little pocket of escapism. And the thing I was just going to offer is that maybe the the only constant I can feel into is that just that the way you were just talking about it earlier, like love and how like sparkly and juicy it is, and all the different qualities of
Yeah.
love. Like one of the things I wanted to talk about today was like friendship love, like my love for
Yeah.
you, and I have some new
Oh,
friends coming on board. Yeah, like there's such a and there's a particular feeling to it and a tone to it that's so beautiful, and it's different from like husband love and pet love and
right. Yeah.
kid love. It's cool. So while it does change like the way the love unfolds and kind of peaks and valleys and stuff, but it is a constant.
It's a constant, but there's motion to it. It's not
Yeah.
stagnant. There's a
True that. True
flow.
that. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah. I think that's what I was thinking about with change is a sure thing. Like
Mm,
nothing ever stands still in time,
mm.
right? Everything's always in motion. And we really resist change. I know with
Yes.
for all those moms out there, anytime you tell your kid when they're doing something like, no, we have to, it's transition time. It's now time to put your socks on, go out the door. It's now
Yeah.
time to transition to nap time. Now it's time to transition to dinner time. Anytime there's like that change, that transition time, there's such huge resistance to it with
Totally.
kids. And I feel
Yeah.
like even as adults, when we're told something's going to change, just the thought of change, maybe it's the fear of the unknown. It just feels so difficult sometimes.
Yes. Big and stressful and like, no thanks, no thanks, no
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And
so often on the other, oh, sorry, go ahead.
and the more we resist that change, the more we tend to suffer.
Exactly that. Yeah. Yeah. If we want to suffer, it's a great way. Which I guess on some level we all do a little bit. We want to suffer. Yeah,
Maybe.
that's really
Yeah.
true. I love that. I love that you brought that forward. Like it's all changing and our kind of attachment to it not changing is painful.
Yeah.
So kind of
Yep.
opening our hearts to that idea of like, let me just embrace all the changing and ooh, look at all the pretty changes and look at that new wrinkle. Oh, isn't she cute?
Oh, dang it. Wrinkles. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Change.
My
That's
face
definitely
is
change.
changing, that's for sure.
I know. Sometimes I just have to tell myself, Sarah, you're the youngest right now that you're ever going to be.
Yes.
Moving forward, like you're not going to next week be younger. You're just going to be older. So enjoy being younger right now.
In 10 years, you're going to look back and be like, that is the hottest 53-year-old I've ever seen. So the version of you, just imagine your 10 year from now self looking back at a picture and just be like, girl, you got it.
Yes. Change is happening. Yep. I just have to look at my giant 16-year-old kid and
Oh my
remember that just a
gosh.
breath ago, he was,
In kindergarten where we met.
yeah. Yeah. Little tiny spunky thing. And now he's
A
like
little
this.
like blonde mop of a head. Like
Yeah.
both our boys were little blonde moppy heads.
Oh,
And
there's a lot of hair.
I totally remember seeing you and your husband at that day. I
The
can
first day of
picture it.
kindergarten?
Yes. Like, no, it was like the parent, whatever.
Oh, back
Yeah.
to school night. Yeah. Sitting in that
Something
kindergarten class.
in those tiny chairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now we have giant humans.
Definitely change. That's some big, huge change. That happens a little
Aw.
gradually, but it's definitely change. And it's always going to be changing. They're not going to stay this age either.
Yeah. And week to week, man, it's incredible the way his mind changes and like what he's open to and what he's closed to. It's cool. I like
It
this
is
age.
cool. It is a good
It's
age. All
speaking of
right.
change, can I share my
Yes,
number 2?
please.
Okay. So what I want to offer is that if I need to change my personal kind of attitude or signature
Yeah.
or energy field or just like attitude, gratitude is the only way or one of the best ways. Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's kind of like that's one of mine too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, except for I had mine as a shift in my perspective when the
Mm,
physical world seems too hard or impossible or unfair or completely out of my control.
yeah.
The only thing that I can control is my perspective. So shifting into that state of gratitude. Sometimes I can't get as far as gratitude.
Yeah.
Sometimes I
It's
just
too
have
far
to
to
be
go.
like, yeah, sometimes I just have to shift it slightly,
Yeah.
skew it somehow
Just
a
a
little bit.
little
Yeah.
bit better.
A little
Gratitude is so
nudge. Yeah.
highfalutin, right? Well, I
Yeah.
have a gratitude.
Gratitude's the reach. It's the stretch. Yeah.
It's kind of forced on me because of the programs that I involve myself in. It's a big keyword that we use a lot. Gratitude, and then
Mm.
also the practice because of some of the folks that I engage with, and we have a daily gratitude practice. And so we text each other. Here's what I'm grateful for. And I can be all grumpified, and then the text will come in from someone else's gorgeous gratitude list. Like where they're just bringing, and it's literally a vibration that shoots out of the phone into my face, and I'm like, right, I remember you. And so
I
then
like
I'm able
that.
to and then I'm able to jump in on the stream of gratitude, and then type my I am grateful that this too shall pass. I am grateful for this stupid phone. I am grateful. I mean, you know what I mean? Like you can still
Right.
have a lower vibe gratitude.
Right. Yeah.
It's just like you said, tiny
But
steps
it
towards that.
is a vibration. It totally is a vibration.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it kind of is like a river. Like you're describing it as like a river. Like hop
Yes.
into that flow of gratitude, hop into that stream of gratitude.
Yes.
Because you can always
Yes.
find something to be grateful for.
Truly. Truly. Like, I'm standing up right now while we record. I'm grateful I can stand up. Like, that's lucky. I'm
Yeah.
grateful that my feet can hold my body up. That's neat.
Because
Like,
you've
it's,
had some you've had some hip and ankle problems, lady.
yeah, but they went away when I stopped
Yes.
eating sugar.
Oh, grateful for being off
For
sugar.
my being off sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah. God willing, by the time this publishes, I'll still be off sugar. But yes, I am off
Well,
sugar.
if you can make it through the holidays.
Exactly. God
Oh, okay.
willing. Yeah,
What am I up next? I think so. Okay,
you're up.
here's one. We are more similar than we are different. I know that for sure.
Ooh. Ooh. Say more about that.
I think we get caught up in our differences as people. We
Yep.
use our differences to other another group. And that has got to be some real prehistoric self-preservation right there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Right. There's a
But
reason
we
that
are
that's
really
built into
all
us.
interwoven. And this really comes to light when I'm doing a reading for somebody, and I will feel, because usually there's like a core anchor person that comes in during a reading. It's the
Yeah.
person who, wants to bring the messages and the lovely evidence and set the scene up. But then sometimes it'll be like more people. And then it's like I have a whole crowd of the sitters people, especially,
Yeah.
older sitters too, who've had more people have crossed, and
Yeah.
like how connected everybody is and how interwoven that is, and how they are in just full support and full cheering section of the sitter. And
Totally.
they're not separate. It's all going on, and it's all
Mm.
continuous. And it's the feeling I get is just like this interwovenness of it, like all
Mhm.
of these different connections woven into each other. So it's like this blanket of love surrounding that person.
That is gorgeous. That is so beautiful. It's interesting. I just went on that radio show a couple weeks ago now, and that was one of the questions. Was like a little bit like there's this really beautiful woman who's headed towards 80, and she's just a fascinating human and has always been really interested in death. And one of her kind of questions to me was a little bit like, why do this? Like, sure enough, you're going to get to the other side. You'll see your people or you won't. Like, she was just a little bit kind of in a cool way teasing out, like, why do you do this?
Yeah, why
And
is this important work?
why is this important?
Yeah.
Exactly. And I think you just nailed it right there, of that there's that interconnectedness, that there's this gorgeous, like the tapestry you just used as an example, that feeling comes in. And I think it happens not just for us, but for our sitters. And it's sort of like we get to lift up and out and see this bigger picture, which to your point is
Yeah.
so helpful right now, because the
Yeah.
differences are being really amplified in a bad way. And so
Yeah,
the
that's right.
like finding those similarities and feeling that connectedness and seeing how we all have a heart that beats, a brain that processes, a breath that exhales, like, and we're all really want the same thing, which is to love and be loved.
And connection. Yeah, exactly.
And kind of the end bottom line, like, how do I love and how am I loved? And that's, but because of, sort of the circumstances as they are, it's easy to forget. So thank you for bringing that. That's great.
Yeah. Okay, what's yours? It's like this is like opening Christmas presents.
Oh, it is. My third one is that nature can hear us and fix us. I have a phrase that I really love that I've been using ever since I started doing readings a long time ago, which is trees got your back.
Trees. Yeah, I was walking my daughter to school today, and we were saying hi to all of the trees. Hi, tree. How you
Oh my
feeling
God.
today?
I'm dying. That is so cute.
And then as we were
Oh,
walking back, I was like, "Tree, help me.
yeah,
Help
100%.
me, tree." I didn't
Help
hear what
me.
they were saying, but it's interesting, I just get the visual of the tree being above ground
Mm.
and then seeing it in my imagination below ground being equal parts.
Yeah.
What is the
That's kind of like the
saying?
Oaklandish logo. Have you
It
ever seen that
totally
logo?
is.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But there's
As
so
above,
much
so
in
below. Is that where you were
yes,
going?
as above,
Okay.
so below. Yeah. But that has so much profound meaning for me. Just the thought of that, not having to actually logically conjure up something to tell my brain, but just that knowledge that the other half of that tree and that grandiosity is there on the other side of the ground just
Wow.
brings me so much comfort. And then I always
Oh,
think of myself as a tree, you know,
yeah.
tapping into whenever I'm meditating, whenever I'm helping to ground somebody else, putting them in a tree form with them growing or myself sinking those roots down to the ground, pulling up that gorgeous earth energy and then pulling in the
Yeah.
sky and the
Mm.
oxygen and the CO2 and whatever it is
Yeah.
and the sunlight. All of that is I don't know.
Wow.
It just helps me.
It does. It's so cool. That image really helps me. I think I'm always seeing it like these energies that come out of the bottom of our feet and the bottom of our tailbone and go straight to the earth and come back up. Center meaning. But I love what you just showed because it's like it's not just two little lights going down. It's this whole network. Like you're
Yeah.
saying, like as above, so below. It's not just a little like blah, 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 blah. It's like down below.
Well,
Right? So that mirror is so helpful because I feel like I've been kind of like leaving that out in a bad way, like really see all that ground.
and the
It's
other
good.
cool thing that takes us back to what we were just talking about everybody being interwoven, trees,
Mm.
root systems talk to each other underground. They're interwoven, and we don't see that. We're not even really aware of that. But like all of these root systems, if you just imagine them underground being connected to each other.
Totally. It's really fun because I wrote this as part of my what I know for sure ish. The trees can talk. And I'm just realizing that last night I got a text from one of my dear friends who's over on Maui, whose daughter ha- her ability to communicate is somewhat limited, and she has I can't right now think of her physical challenges, but they are many. And so I've been talking to her a lot about the telepathy tapes, which I think I've already brought up on this podcast because I'm obsessed. And she wrote back to me last night and said that her daughter can talk to the trees. She says she can talk to the
Oh,
trees and the sand and the stones. And I was
wow.
like, whoa. And, you know, you can feel it. Like, it just feels so true. Like, it's just 100% true. Like, that's the conversation she's having. And she
Yeah.
knew when this one tree was dying before anyone else did. And like, there's all of these, like, and again, it's like pretty far out of like the quote unquote normal paradigm, you know, like in materialism, we would never be like, I just talked to the tree and the tree wanted to know, blah, blah, blah. You know, like it's like pretty far out. But,
Yeah.
and the way that we're starting to understand reality through this work, it's not far out at all. It's really true.
Well, also speaking of the telepathy tapes, I just listened to the part where one of the kids um had crystals
Oh,
and could
yeah.
tell that they were programmed, that they were prayed over, that they were
Chills.
yeah, with like heartfelt beautiful intentions and was able to speak to that and didn't and it was just proof that there's just
Yeah.
so much more. There's
We
just so
just
much
don't
more.
know.
Yeah.
We go back to number
We just
one. We
don't
don't
know.
know.
Yeah. Back to number 1.
Well, I just want to make sure we have full context. So the telepathy tapes is a podcast and it's it's a run don't walk situation, y'all. You definitely want to tune in. But
Yes.
it's about these folks who are autistic and in the spectrum of not having much, if
Non-speaking.
any,
Yeah.
non-speakers, yeah, and their ability to communicate telepathically. So just again, run don't walk, but that of course maps back to what Emily was telling us about the crystals and how in
Yeah.
that crystal episode, you know, how you program them. So you're saying that that kid picked up on the programming. It was
That's
like,
right.
ah!
I
That's
know.
so cool. Oh my
It's
God, it's
so
all full
cool.
circle. I'm dying.
Okay. Do you have another one? Because I've got another one.
You go.
Okay. Heaven or the other side or across the veil is not a physical location. It is not in
Ooh,
the sky or someplace far off.
where is
I
it?
know that for sure.
Where is it?
It's right here. It's
It's
right
right
where
here.
we are.
Oh my
It
god.
is just a different frequency. It's just a different dimension. And I don't fully understand it. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't fully describe what it is. I just know that when I'm communicating with spirit, what I say on the other side or across the veil, they're not like far off in the sky in like some distant heaven land. They're like right here. They're right here. They're like right in my face. Or
Yeah.
sometimes they're in my body.
Yes.
So they're always around us. They're always around. They're always here participating. They're always fully invested in what we're doing because they're experiencing it with us.
And for anyone who might be picking up here in episode 34 instead of episode 1, can you tell them a little bit about how, even if you don't like the ones on the other side, they don't have to be with us? I wonder if you could just give a little
Right. So
context.
yes, it does. It can freak some people out
Yes.
to think about what we call what do we call
The not
the
amazing dead?
dreadful
No.
dead?
No, that's not it either. What is it? The difficult dead.
The difficult dead, the dreadful dead.
The pain in the ass dead.
Yeah. Yeah. People that we haven't reconciled
Yes.
with, people that may have hurt us in their
Mm-hmm.
lifetime, people
Mm-hmm.
that we don't want to hear from. We absolutely have the ability to say, stay away from me. And they
No
have to
thanks.
listen because
Yep.
we have the right of way when we're in our bodies.
We have full domain over our little bodies and the
That's
full
right.
energy field around us. And
That's
that claiming your domain is something that I just continue to get super excited about. And I
yeah.
want to just teach that. Like your little beach
And we're
ball, your little like
that's right.
we're gonna and that in we are gonna teach that
That's right.
later this year, not long from now.
Right. But if
And
they're, yeah, you don't need to worry about that. People don't need to worry about that. Like, oh no, like Uncle so and so saw me naked in the shower. It's like, no, like you can just, it doesn't matter. Like you could just say, nope, this is like a zone. This is my own domain. You can put those
yeah,
boundaries in.
what's really true? Here's something I know that's true. Are you ready for my new true?
Yes.
Wait, have we spent enough time with your awesome true? Um, yes, heaven. Okay. Wait, I want to stay with your true and then I'm going to go to my true. Heaven is right here. And so I was just giving a little protection for anybody who felt like that was intrusive. But I have had dreams before where heaven was like basically 1.5 feet above us. Like in my dream, all the spirits were walking around, but they were just like a couple feet above us.
Oh,
So it's
that's
not,
so cool.
isn't that a trip?
That is a
And I
trip.
have chills. It feels kind of true. Like this, it's basically another dimension that's like right here. And that's what mediums do is we sort of tune up or in to that dimension. And
Yeah,
like
it's a
I had
different frequency. Yeah.
a different frequency. Yeah. And this I just did a reading a few minutes ago where a spirit walked in and he had really loud footfall. He was like, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, oh shit, what does that mean? Why is he so loud? And it just turns out like he just wanted to be like, I'm here. I got you. I'm going to talk to you now. But it was just like very entertaining. But I did see him sort of like not on my ground. He was a little bit above the ground. So
Oh, that's kind of crazy.
it is crazy. And it happened
That's
today.
cool. Yeah. Yeah, I've had a spirit come in before and I could hear them with hard-heeled shoes walking across a stage.
Oh,
A
cool.
wooden stage. And I'm looking back on it and it does seem like that stage was a little bit higher. So,
We'll just go with it for now because we don't really get to
yeah.
know, but we think we
I
know.
mean, we can chalk that back up to number one, is we will never really truly know everything. So, okay, give us another one, Jane.
Well, the only other one that I've come up with that I think is valuable is this concept of being a seeker of delight, that we get to curate our own experiences through. It's sort of like what you were talking about earlier about like having that perspective change or the filter change. But then, I've had a lot of readings lately where the message coming towards me is like, go and get it. Go find that delight and stay in it and don't blow it by and just stay busy, busy or stay, I have to laundry or whatever. Like, go. Remember that amazing Lauren Robertson told us that in
Yeah.
season 1-ish, where she was
Yeah.
like, get it on, get that delight on, figure out what it is, and go and spend your time doing that. And in like notice your delight as you're hanging out in delight and delight, 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 delight. So it's not just, because I gave her the example, like when I do dishes, I use really yummy soap. And she's like, that's fine, but that's not your delight. So
You
anyway,
know,
yeah, curating your experience. That's what I want to say.
curating your experience in delight. I think that's perfect. And I feel like I can validate that because whenever I am connecting to my guides, I often like will chant like a right
Mm.
channel. And actually today I just gave a reading where I kept hearing delight, delight. It's your turn to find your delight. And it is that
What?
word delight. And I just the other day when I was meditating, I wrote down, it was like, be still and know, be still and know, be still and know, then go and find your delight.
What?
So that
That's
feels like
crazy.
validation of what you were just saying. Like that's so important. That delight really is so important. And not to creep anybody out, but when we do find our delight and those loved ones in spirit that we want to have around with us,
Yes, yes,
that we
yes.
wish that we were communing with all the time, they get to experience that delight with us because that's also come through in readings for me too. Like
Yes.
when we are in our delight and when we are curating that delight, we are also doing that with our loved ones in spirit.
Okay, you're brilliant because you brought back that thing that I lost. So good job, Sarah. So, really quick, what I wanted to offer was that with spirit, we have to ask. So, and just going back to that protection and that level of like, we have to ask for help. We've talked about that a lot on this podcast, but even in that communication, we have to ask them to be in communication. And then it becomes like we talked about on one of the last episodes of last season of that spiritual, what did Becky call it? Spiritual um, scavenger hunt.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right. So it's like we ask and then they come. But that's
Yes.
part of being human is that you get to stay in the third dimension and you don't actually have to engage with that.
Yeah. You get to have whatever experience you want to have.
You are calling it in. So
Yeah.
that's just another layer of protection for anybody who's like, ugh, I don't want to talk to Uncle. What's his name? So anyway.
I know that we've touched in this many, many ways as we've talked about it, but I'll just officially put it out there is what I know for sure
Ooh.
is unconditional love is real.
Mm.
I know that when I'm truly plugged in, whether it's through meditating or being in the present moment, or in a reading, that into that one consciousness where I am no longer my story, where
Mm-hmm.
I'm a part of all that is,
Yeah.
without thinking about it or defining in my mind for myself what I'm a part of and what I really feel is unconditional love. And that to me, like it's not easy to get there. It's not absolute. It's not all the time. But when I get there, I know that I've gotten there because it
Yeah.
just feels like this most delicious peace and it's all encompassing. And I think I just wrote it down. It's total love, peace, and sheer delight. I wrote that.
No way. That's what you wrote. I was just about
Yeah.
to ask you to continue to define it because I can say that in various relationships throughout my life, I've been looking for it. Like I was looking for it from my mom. I was looking for it from my
Yeah.
aunt who sort of showed me unconditional love and then ripped it back. And I was looking, I think animals can actually broadcast it better than humans sometimes. But
Yeah.
what you're
I do really feel like human is a condition.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. That is like a deep quote, girl. Human is a condition.
Being human is a condition. So it's when
Not
I
going to be
get out.
unconditional.
Yeah. So I have to get out of that human. Like
Right.
I love my kids unconditionally. I love them unconditionally, but like you need to wake
And
up in the morning. You
you got
just
to do
like
your
can you
homework.
please put your dirty clothes away? Like the conditions are
Yes.
confronting me all the time. So
I was like, I love the kid, not the behavior. I love the kid, not the behavior. Yeah.
right. I mean I can get to that, but it's more so it's also when I am giving a reading and I've
Yeah.
got the sitter sitting right there and that connection is made where the spirit communicator comes in and they're identified and the sitter
Yeah.
knows who it is that's there. I don't know about you when you're giving a reading, like all of a sudden there is just like this flood of
Whoosh. Yeah.
unconditional love, like whoosh. That is why
Yeah.
we do this. What makes us like
Yeah.
super high,
Sober chicks getting high.
sober chicks getting high.
Yep.
And that's the unconditional love.
Totally. Totally. Oh my God. That's so good, Sarah. I love it. And so you're saying like, most of you listening are probably mediums. I'm just saying, but we can get there by tapping into this heaven that's a foot above us or whatever these fields. We can get there in meditation, but then I would also say, what about that unconditional love for our little selves? And that can come from our higher self or whatever tapped into
Yeah.
whoever you love. Oh, hi Trixie. Who's at the door?
She needs a treat.
treat. Well, tell Trixie we're almost done. Yeah. So yes. Just saying yes to your idea. This unconditional love that we are constantly kind of engaging with and searching for and finding, but it is real. That's the thing for sure is that it's real.
It is real. It is real. It is real. But yes, I think you also touched on something really, really important. Giving ourselves that unconditional love. I feel like that's my like life mission and I haven't figured it out yet, but I'm going to get there if I can. I'm going to
Yeah,
try.
exactly. Damn it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm on that journey too. And I think we all are. And it's a hard one for whatever reason. It's very difficult to offer
Yeah.
that kind of sweetness and absolute acceptance to ourselves.
Yeah.
I was just having a conversation in the mirror like, girl, you got some extra curves. You look good. This is me. And that is not something I would have ever said. So I feel like I'm starting to get better. I won't believe it tomorrow, but
so good.
Good luck. Good luck. Well, amazing, Sarah. What a great idea for a topic. And I hope you beautiful listeners have felt some of our truths and have your own truths. And we'd love to hear about them on the Instagram or
we want to know what you guys know for sure.
Yeah.
I bet you know way more than we do.
100%. Yes, please tell us what you know for sure because we need to know. And just more about this coming season. Really amazing guests that are just talk about delight. They're just bringing it, and we can't wait to share these beautiful souls with you. And what else, Sarah? Before we close,
sign up, subscribe to our newsletter,
subscribe to our
mediumcurious.com.
newsletter. All the
and
answers
make sure
will come
you
in your inbox.
download all of
Download
the
those.
episodes. Yes. Download them.
So meaningful. And tell your friends that you are listening to this and that you love it. And thank you to all of you who have come forward and shared your joy about this little space that we're creating. We're delighted. Oh, there I went again. We're so
You delight
happy.
us. Yes.
You do. You delight us. And we love doing it. So thanks for your love coming back. So with that,
till next time. Love ya.
Love you. Love you so much. Bye.
Bye.
Medium Curious is made possible
by Jane Morgan Editing.
Sarah Rathke made the amazing music. Mixed by Podcast Engineers.
And you can help Medium Curious by downloading the episodes
and following our socials.
And please subscribe to our newsletter on mediumcurious.com.
And the dogs under the desk in Hawaii are Kalea and Domino.
And Trixie in California.